morning and welcome to today's video. I'm going to show you my realistic routine with a newborn. Obviously everyone is different and there's absolutely no one right way to do things, but this is just what I have done and found successful with all three of my children. So let's get into the video. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. Eva is just having a feed, but I'm going to try and put her straight back down as if it's still nighttime sleep without any wake time, because 5 AM is not an ideal time to be waking up. My toddler will still be asleep till about 6:30, so I'm hoping that she will sleep until that time.
The music is off now. That was weird.
It was rude because you woke up early, hey? Ready for mommy to lift you up?
I'm right back.
Okay, holding on to mommy. 1, 2, 3. Whee!
Hi, baby Eva.
Hi, baby Eva. I followed this loose routine with all three of my children. My oldest passed away when she was 2 months old, so I only used it up until then, but I did see success in it and it gave me a lot of confidence in my parenting, so I implemented the same routine with my son, who is now 2.5 years old, almost 2.5, and that worked wonders. So I'm doing the same with my third child, who is almost 4 weeks old. I say loose routine because babies are unpredictable, life is unpredictable, and it just helps to remove the pressure of trying to control too much. 2 things to remember: eat, play, sleep, and 3 hours. The first hour is baby's awake window and the remaining 2 hours is baby's nap time. As soon as baby wakes from the previous nap, that first hour starts and I would immediately offer a feed. After they've finished feeding, whatever time is remaining in that first hour would be playtime, and then they would go down for their 2-hour nap. For me, baby is a really efficient feeder and I do have a lot of milk typically. So a feed only takes around 10 minutes, meaning I've got almost the full hour remaining to try and keep baby awake and stimulated for playtime before I would try and settle her for a sleep. Every baby is different though. Feeding can take the entire hour, feeding could take half an hour. It really just depends on the baby, it doesn't matter. Feed them first and then let them have whatever remaining time is left over for some playtime, some stimulation, and then get them ready for their 2-hour nap. Good morning, it is 6:45 in the morning. I have just given Eva her morning feed. She woke up at 5 AM and fed, and she should have had about 2 hours sleep, but she had less than an hour. I tried to lay her back down in the bassinet, but she was not having it, so I've been awake since 5 holding her, and she slept for just under an hour. My 2-year-old is eating his breakfast. Son, what happens if we do banging? Does mummy take it off you? Do not do banging. I let my toddler get up at 6:30 in the morning, so if he wakes up earlier than that, which he did today, I switch his nightlight on to the colour red. Son, what does red mean?
More sleepy.
More sleepies. So I had to do that this morning, and then at 6:30 I switched it to green. What does green mean? He can wake up when it's green. So I went to go get him at 6:30. I tried to lay Eva down, but she woke straight up. So I had both the kids awake at 6:30, both the kids awake early, and both the kids grumpy. Since Eva woke up at 6:30, that means her bedtime is 7:30. She has had 1 feed. I need to offer her the other side. And then in that time before 7:30, I need to prioritize getting my toddler ready for the day. We'll see how much else we can get done, but this little guy's the priority. The reason why I offer the feed as soon as baby wakes up is so that I don't get stuck in that feeding to sleep cycle. I love when baby falls asleep while she's feeding. It is so cute, but it is nice to know that in the future baby's not going to be reliant on me having to feed them to sleep. The other reason I do it is because there is a lot more time in between when they feed and when they wake up after the nap, meaning that they're really hungry and they have a really good feed when they wake up as opposed to a snack because they're still kind of full. When it's getting close to the end of that first hour, or around about, like I said, it's a loose routine, that's when I would start to get baby ready for sleep time and try and get her to be asleep by the hour and 15 minutes. What's the matter, son? What's the matter? Hey, get your froggy towel. Your froggy towel's in there. You're trying to cuddle her. You're cuddling her. Aww, that's very nice, son.
I feel my feeling.
How come you pulled out all of your toys this morning, son? How come all of your toys have come out of the cupboard? Just a quick little update, it is now 10 a.m. Eva would have ideally gone to bed at 7:30, but she went to bed at 8:30. I keep trying to put her down in her bassinet and she is re-waking, so it looks like we are contact napping for this entire nap time. The mornings are always pretty chaotic because I have a toddler who also needs my attention, and I do my best to get her down to bed on time so that she's not overtired, but 9 out of 10 times she's overtired and difficult to get down to sleep. During her nap time, if she's in her bassinet, I would usually use that time to reset the house, tidy up after the morning routine, do the things that I wasn't able to do while she was awake, like maybe shower myself, eat, and also try and get some sleep with her as well. Hopefully she'll have a really long nap, wake up really hungry, and then we can reset this cycle. Eva had a nice big sleep. She slept for 2 hours and 40 minutes. She woke up just after 11 p.m, which means that her nap time should be just after 12 p.m, which is now. I gave her a nice big feed, so she had that big sleep, and when she woke up she was really hungry, so she had a really solid feed, which is what I was hoping for. And then we popped out to the supermarket and to grab me some sushi for lunch, and while we were out she started to fall asleep just after 12 p.m. in the capsule. And now that we're home, I am just resettling her so she can go into a deep sleep, and then I will pop her in her bassinet. Fingers crossed she goes down, because I would really like some hands-free time. That's why I left the house, because I just needed some time without holding the baby. So hopefully she'll go down in her bassinet, but we'll see. on how the day's going, sometimes I'll let baby sleep on the go, especially if I'm having to resettle her a lot. I will stop fighting it and just hope that she sleeps in the car and in the pram. On those days, I use those naps to run errands, go for a walk, get some exercise in, those sort of things. Ideally, baby will have a solid full nap in her own bassinet, and on those days I use the time to get as much done around the house and for myself as possible. Even though it's typically that 3 hours and that's what I aim for, I don't wake up baby from her naps yet, so sometimes she will go over that 2 hours like she did today, sometimes she will do a little less. So as soon as baby wakes up from her nap, whatever time that may be, that is when I will offer her her feed and I will restart that 3 hour cycle in my head. Especially with newborns, I find it really useful to know how long they should be awake for, how much stimulation they need so that they get tired for their sleep, how long they should be sleeping for, how often they should be feeding, those sort of details, and the routine and the guideline of this loose 3 hour block that I follow helps me to pay attention to baby and start to understand her cues and how she's trying to communicate with me so that I can get to her before things go bad. So I'm recognizing when she's starting to get sleepy, I'm recognizing when she's starting to get hungry, and I know those things because I'm paying attention to them around the time that typically a newborn would be starting to show those signs. So I found this really useful with my other 2 children, and this is what I'm trying to implement with my third. However, it is different because I have a toddler, and as you saw this morning, it was so far from this 3 hour block, but this is what I cling to try and get back on track and gain some control of the day again. But obviously with my toddler needing me as well, there are some things that I just have to let slide. I had to hold Eva for her nap so that she could get that full sleep. I had to keep her awake a little bit longer so that I could take care of my son, and it's just what it is. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video or found something in it useful, and I will see you guys next time.